today in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic, but today's topic is not only current, very, very relevant, and the topic is Youth Conclave on Organ Donation. And today's program is a very, very special program because this program is in association with Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, HIMCS, and Sharda Group of Institutions, Mathura. And all the youth guests who are joining here are from this institute, and their director and the coordinator of this program, they both will be there. And today, for the first time, I will be doing as a keynote speaker in the live telecast. I will be replying the questions to all the students. And hence, now I would like to introduce the today's program coordinator, and she is Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva. Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva is the Assistant Professor, MBA Department of HIMCS, Mathura. Her area of specialization is in accounting and finance. She is COE of HIMCS. She is the chairperson of WWNGC. She is also cultural head of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, HIMCS, Mathura. Welcome, Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva on our show. And today, you being the host, so I am now handing over this to you. Over to Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good morning and a very warm welcome to everyone present here. I, Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva, Assistant Professor in the Department of Management at Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, Mathura, welcomes you all in the Youth Conclave on Organ Donation, which is jointly organized by Organ Donation India and Gyan and Hindustan Institute. Founded at Agra in 1996, Sharda Group of Institutions is a pioneer and the largest educational group of North India with Sharda University at Greater Noida. Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, Mathura, is a flagship management institute of Sharda Group of Institutions established in the year 1997. SGI is committed to deliver quality education in wide spectrum of fields pertaining to engineering, technology, management, and medicine. First, I would like to welcome our keynote speaker of this youth conclave, Mr. Lal Goel. Mr. Goel is the chairman of Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. He is also the chief promoter of Pandit Health Resort and Spa. A postgraduate in political science, has done more than 600 episodes on organ donation awareness, COVID-19, and many other current topics. He also writes on the latest topics. Mr. Goel has won many awards domestically and internationally, including the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Businessman of the Year Award, India Darshan National Integration Award 2019 are among them. Mr. Goel, as a chief editor, has been tirelessly conducting daily shows for the last 22 months. Media conference with Lal Goel, in which all the top dignitaries like governor, central ministers, vice chancellors, former Supreme Court judges, army, police officers, apart from professionals and businessmen, have participated. His program is live telecasted by many channels with a viewership of over 2 million every day. Now, I would like to request Mr. Goel to express his thoughts on this conclave. Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir, Mr. Goel. I would like to again request Mr. Lal Goel to continue with the session.
Dr. Sachdev, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
I think there's a network problem here. So anyways, now it is connected.
Now over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Respected Dr. Naveen Gupta, Director of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, and Dr. Sheetal Sachdev, Assistant Professor, HMCS, for inviting and giving me this opportunity to speak directly with the students about the organ donation awareness program. Now, before I will start the program about talking about the organ donation, I would like to inform you all that one has to understand was first, what is organ donation? Organ donation is basically of two types. One is a living organ donation and the other is a brain dead organ donation. Living organ donation is when one can donate his or her organs to the very, very close relatives in India, because India, there is a law about it, and the close relatives definitions comes who are under the close relatives are grandparents, parents, spouse, siblings, children, grandchildren. So these are the close relatives whom one can donate organs. And organs which can be donated is one of the kidney out of two, part of pancreas and part of liver in living. And one can also donate to an unrelated person, but for that you have to donate out of love and affection, for which the government of India's appointed committee permission is required. So this is for the as far as the living donation is concerned. The other is brain dead organ donation. Brain dead organ donation is when the oxygen supply to the brain stops. So your organs are functioning, but your brain is dead. And this generally occurs due to the accident, road accidents, or some acute illness like asthma, when the oxygen supply is not going to the brain. In that case, if the brain death is declared by the doctors, and that also I would like to clarify to you, because there is lots of myth. The clarity is as per the law in India. Once a person is declared by the local doctor in the hospital that he is or she is a brain death, then there is a committee in that particular district. That committee consists of renowned nephrologist, neurologist, and other, and they will come and examine. After a minimum gap of 6 hours, again they will examine. And if they will find that there is no revival chance of the patient, then they declare it as a brain death. So once the patient is declared brain death, then their organs are taken out by the specialist doctors, and that can be transplanted to the others. Now, for transplant to others, there is a waiting list maintained by the hospitals where these organ transplants are taking place, or the district, or the state, or the regions, and the otherwise national. And then they see this organ is going to match whom. And these brain dead organs are, which can be used, are heart, lungs. There are 2 lungs, 2 kidneys, pancreas, liver, intestines, etc. So basically these are the main. The other thing is tissues. Tissues are like eye cornea, skin, bones, etc. So these are the tissues, but the organs are, and in natural death person, if there is a natural death, then organs cannot be taken out, because the organs stop functioning as soon as natural death takes place. Only organs can be taken out when they are on ventilator, when the brain death is already declared. So these are the things. Now, the other thing is why we are talking about this organ donation today. Or you might have heard that so many organ donation awareness programs are taking place, because there are 3 types of organ donations in world. And unfortunately in India, we are losing more than 5 lakhs persons every year. That works out to be 1,500 persons every day. Or in other way, you can understand every minute, one person is dying for want of organ. Now one can imagine that even Corona, which is now there for last 22 months, could not have crossed 5 lakhs in India, while every year more than 5 lakhs people are dying for want of organ. Corona, which was not in our hand directly, uh, but here one can save the lives. So how one can save the lives and why, how it is possible? Because there are 3 types of organ donation in the world. One is volunteer, one is opt-in system, and a third one is opt-out system. Volunteer is like in India, which is practiced in India, that if I will fill up the form today, or I decide to donate my organs, I can fill up the form, I will get a card issued by the NOTO, the National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, a government of India's appointed committee. And then I can get the card. But in case of my brain death, my family, my close relatives their consent is required. And if they says, no, sorry, we will not donate his organs, then government or the medical team cannot take out my organs. So this is volunteer. Second is opt-in system, which is prevailing in USA, in which once the form is filled up, once one has decided to donate the organs, and in case of the brain death or even the natural death, the tissues in natural death like eye, cornea, skin, and bones, etc., then the government or the medical hospital will inform the relatives and take the they will take the consent, but it is not that they can decline, because already the consent has been given by the donor, and they will take the organs. And third is which is opt-out, which is very prevailing in Europe, and for last from 20th May 2020 it has started in UK also. That is opt-out system. Opt-out system is once you become adult, that is 18 years old, you have to opt out if you want to, that you do not want to donate your organs. If you will not opt out, then it will be deemed that your organs belongs to the government or the state. But if you opt out, then you can opt out, then your organs, even if one become the brain death, will not be taken by the government. But the only drawback in this is, in case if that person who has opt out requires the organs, his priority or her priority will be the least. So it will be totally, it's almost impossible to get the organs in that country. So that is why these 3 types of organ donations are there. In India, we are losing 5 lakhs plus, as I told you. In USA, about 7,000 people are losing their life in 1 year. While in UK, the last year data says only 400 people lost their life. Now, you can very well say, being a management student, that UK is 1/20th population-wise of India. Yes, multiply 20 to 400, it works out to 8,000. 8,000 and 5 lakhs, because ours is a volunteer. And that's why we have to create the awareness. And that's why we are organizing these programs, creating the awareness to enlighten. And the best part is that one should create the awareness to the youth, because you are all educated. You know what is the advantage of organ donation. And you know that if you are giving donation to a temple, mosque, church, or a gurudwara, that will give some peace to you and your family. But if you are donating organs, and if your organs be used by someone, you can save 8 lives and you can improvise 75 lives. We are not God, but God has given us a power to save 8 lives, which is, I think, the supreme donation in this world. So this, I am now stopping myself, because I have to give the answers and the chief guest has to speak. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to address the students of your esteemed organization, institute. Back to Dr. Sachdev.
Thank you, sir, for such a valuable session. Now, I would like to introduce our chief guest of this organ donation conference, Professor Naveen Gupta. Director of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, Mathura. Behavioral scientist and management consultant, PhD from IIT Roorkee, having more than 34 years of academic experience. He has been a member of prestigious associations like Association of Indian Management School, All India Management Association, National HRD Network, Indian Society for Training and Development, and many such associations, and currently is a chairperson of AIMS Agra chapter. Now, I would like to request Professor Gupta to express his thoughts on organ donation. Over to you, Professor Gupta.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva. Thanks to Mr. Lal Goel ji for giving me this opportunity and to speak on a very, very important theme of the day. I congratulate all the students also for selecting why it is so important, because as Mr. Lal Goel has already expressed that there's a lack of awareness. And the purpose of this webinar is also to create awareness. If we talk about organ donor in India, the today's status is out of 10 lakh, only 1%, while 32 in USA out of 10 lakh. And Spain has got highest, that is 47% out of 10 lakh. Why it is so? Perhaps it is not they don't want to donate, but perhaps this is the lack of awareness. And the agenda which you have picked up today, Dr. Sheetal, Mr. Lal Goel, and the all students is so important, so important. I would like to share 3 case studies here. The one of the Mr. Just Oza, a boy of 2.5 years of Gujarat, who met with an accident and he lost his life. The parents decided that all the organs, around 17 organs can be donated, will be donated. Now you see. And the boy, he was the only boy in the family. बहुत मन्नतों के बाद आया था, बट उन्होंने किस तरीके से वो थ्रेट को, वो एक ग्लूमिंग्स को कैसे कन्वर्ट किया. We all want to be immortal. When we see the politicians around us, नाम के लिए bureaucrats around us, क्या क्या नहीं करते, रोड पे नाम लिखवाएंगे, घर के बाहर इतना बड़ा बोर्ड लगा लेंगे. But if you really want to do, because I'm talking with the youth, if you want to do something different, if you want to make some impact in someone's lives, please join this movement of Mr. Lal Goel. Very, very important. उस 2.5 साल के बच्चे ने जब डिसाइड किया उसकी फैमिली ने कि पूरे के पूरे ऑर्गन्स डोनेट करेंगे, हमने तो जो था भगवान ने चाहा वो हो गया. एंड उस ऑर्गन से 2 रशियन बच्चों की जान बची. When we talk, I could understand out of this case that love, compassion has no boundary at all. We only create the boundaries of geography, caste, religion. तो तब देख के बहुत दुख होता है कि कई लोग ऐसे हैं जो दूसरों की जान बचाने में लगे हुए हैं, और एक तरफ जो लोग किस तरीके से हेट, they are ready to kill each other. तब वो बशीर बद्र का, when I was in Meerut I was doing my PG, तो बशीर बद्र का जब घर जला दिया गया था एक दंगे में, तो उसके जो मुझे कुछ वर्ड्स याद आते हैं, लोग टूट जाते हैं एक घर बनाने में, तुम्हें तरस नहीं आता है बस्तियां जलाने में. दूसरा केस which I would like to share with you of Mr. Prashant Gade. Prashant Gade was a student of BTech. He had a lot of expectations like you. कि जाएंगे कॉलेज में जाएंगे, perhaps I will be taught how to create, how to design, innovations and all that. तो वहां ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं. Every student was busy only to get the marks and बस पढ़ाई का उद्देश्य ये है अच्छे marks and then get a job. placement क्या है? No, he was not fit for this. So no. Then he dropped his BTech program in third year when he met with a girl of 7 years who was not having hands. And he promised, I will arrange hands for you, artificial hands. When he went to the market, he could understand the cost of the hands are 24 lakh. He was so surprised, shocked, what to do. And that was the turning point of Mr. Prashant. He decided that I will not continue my BTech program. I will work on robotic hands. And he designed, then he could see the impact. So what is the impact of the education? Purpose kya hai, lakshya kya hai? I don't say that everybody has to do. If you are not able to do, if you are not able to contribute to the society, so I think there is no meaning. और एक तरफ हम देखते हैं कि हम एक दूसरे की जान लेने के कट थ्रोट कंपटीशन में लगे रहते हैं, रेट रेस में लगे रहते हैं. आई एम टॉकिंग पर्टिकुलरली विद द एमबीए स्टूडेंट्स बिकॉज दे हैव टू टेक देयर जर्नी अ very long. They have started just their career. That reminds me also mythology का केस देवदत्त और सिद्धार्थ गौतम बुद्ध. तो देवदत्त ने वो एक हंस के जोड़े को मारा और सिद्धार्थ ने उसे बचाया. So there was a fight. That belongs to me. ये हंस तो मेरा है. Then the judge took the decision कि नहीं, बचाने वाले को ज्यादा अधिकार है. So the third case which I would like to quote, that was Mr. Dr. Rajesh Sharma of Fortis Hospital. There was a boy, a very young boy of Pakistan, so he was having heart problem. It was declared in Pakistan that it is not possible, and if we do this here, so we have to invite doctors from outside, out of Pakistan. And the cost will be around more than crores. Somehow they managed, they had a word with Dr. Rajesh Sharma of Fortis Hospital. उसने कहा कि आप आ जाइएगा, आप यहाँ आ जाइएगा, and the expenses will be around 10 lakh rupees. So they decided, the whole family, कहीं से गरीब family थी, 10 लाख रुपए इकट्ठा किया, वो वहां पहुंचे. And they were confused because the doctor is Hindu. Should we call नमस्ते कहें, कैसे कहें? उससे पहले उसने कहा वालेकुम सलाम. And the patient and the family of the patient were very, very happy. इलाज शुरू हुआ, ups and down आए. It was such an emotional, very touching story. तो वो उसको बचाने के लिए पूरा प्रयत्न करते रहे. और कॉस्ट क्या हुआ कि क्योंकि उसने बताया कि वो उसको दूसरा प्रोसीजर फॉलो करना पड़ा, कॉस्ट हैज गॉन अप. But the doctor said, no, commitment is a commitment. You have to pay only 10 lakh rupees. उसके ऊपर के बिल जितने भी होंगे. And he gave assurance to the family, whenever you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. That's such a empathy. और वो वेट करता था क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स आईसीयू में मिल नहीं सकते थे. वो उसकी गाड़ी के बाहर डॉक्टर्स का इंतजार करता रहता था. उसके फादर वहां जाके उससे बात होती थी. और अभी भी कहते हैं कि कभी भी जैसे फोन करता, पाकिस्तान से आता है तो वो फोन काट के उसको दोबारा फोन करता है. उसने अपने लिखा है. So what I want to tell you, even we have a lot of boundaries around us, compassion, love, affection has no boundary at all. So thank you very much for inviting me for such a wonderful cause. And I wish all the students to join the hands and to support the cause of Mr. Lal Goel. Thanks, Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your wonderful thoughts and your motivational speech. Now, I would like to request the audience, the students of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, to have questions from the panel. Now, starting from the first student of HIMCS, I will request Manisha Goel to ask question from Mr. Lal Goel. Yes,
So,
Manisha.
So my name is Manisha Goel. I'm pursuing MBA from Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies. So, sir, my first question is, what are the negative effect of organ donation?
Okay, Miss Manisha, there is no negative effect of organ donation. I will tell you, the first living organ donor in a successful transplant was Ronald Lee Herrick. He was born in 1931 and died in 2010. He donated a kidney to his identical twin brother in 1954. So you can imagine, he donated his kidney in 1954 and he died in 2010 and he was born in 1931. So he lived fully. So there is no negative impact of organ donation as such anywhere. Thank you, Miss Manisha.
Thank you, sir.
Ritu Kumari, you ask question from Mr. Goel.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Lizu Kumari. I am pursuing MBA first year from Hindustan Institute. My question is, do I have to register as an organ donor with any hospital or national registry?
Yes, Miss Liju, you have to register yourself. There is either you can register with a hospital if they are doing this organ donation program. Otherwise, you can go online. There is a site of noto.gov.in. Otherwise, third way is that I will be sending you the form. I will put in the group. You can fill up the form, send to back to me. I will get it done from the government, and you will get the online card directly at your residence, please, office address. Okay, thank you.
Next, Prashant Yadav. Prashant.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Your question, please.
Am I audible? Yes, sir. So my name is Prashant Yadav. I'm pursuing MBA from HMCS. Sir, my question is, sir, how I will inform to your group if I am dead?
Sorry, I'm not getting your question. Can you repeat your question?
Yes, sir. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि सर हम आपके ग्रुप को सर कैसे बताएंगे कि हमारी मतलब मृत्यु हो चुकी है, तो आपकी जो कमेटी है वो हमारा ऑर्गन कैसे?
ओके, प्रशांत यादव जी, पहली बात है, अभी तक कोई ऐसा इंसान नहीं हुआ जो अपनी मृत्यु के बाद किसी को बता सके कि मेरी मृत्यु हो गई है। लेकिन जो आपका क्वेश्चन है वो मैं समझ चुका हूं। आपका क्वेश्चन ये है कि हाउ द इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम द फैमिली विल रीच टू द registrar or registries where we are. So the process is very clear. Every district, like in your Mathura district or Agra district, the civil hospitals, they have the information. You can pass the information to them. Otherwise, there are private organizations working, even like for eye donation, there is a center at Vrindavan and Mathura, or even in Agra, where, or other cities also, where you can inform that so and so of my relative is death, natural death, and we would like to donate the skin or the eye, cornea, etc. But in case of the brain death, you need not to, because it will be in the hospital only, they will declare the brain death. They are the coordinators of the organ donor donation program. They will be talking to the relatives of the brain dead person, and they will ask whether you want to donate the organs of the brain dead. If they says yes, then they will coordinate everything. So there are two different things. If it is a natural death at home, then definitely you have to inform to the nearby whichever agency is available there. Otherwise, and in case if you have come across any such type of case near your place, you can, if you want, you can inform me. I will organize it. Because I am receiving the calls even in the night, somebody, and I just connect so that it can be done. Otherwise, there are many agencies who are working there. Thank you very much.
Next, Shubham Chauhan. Shubham.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I am Shubham Chauhan and I am pursuing MBA from Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Study. Sir, my question is, how does my age and health affect organ donation?
Okay, very good question, Shubham. I will just tell you the youngest organ donor is Hope Lee of Newmarket, UK, who donated her kidneys and liver cells just 74 minutes after she was born. She means her family donated the kidneys of the 74 minutes. So the age you can understand even after, and she was born on 24th November 2015. So you can imagine immediately, even if a newborn, if there is a brain death declared by the doctors, that organs can be donated. And this oldest known organ donor was a 95 years in USA. So there is no age limit, newly born to any limit. Only condition is that organs are in a proper shape, means organs are functioning, they are not damaged. And if the doctor feel that these organs can be easily taken out and they are healthy organs, then they take it. So there is no age bar at all. Thank you, Shubham.
Next question is from Tushar Rajoria.
Good morning, sir. My name is Tushar Rajoria. I am pursuing MBA from HMC.
Yeah, question please.
अगर पर्सन कोविड-19 से रिकवर हो चुका है तो वो पर्सन अपना ऑर्गन डोनेट कर सकता है?
जी, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने तुषार जी। क्योंकि कोविड एक 2 साल पहले ही आया है बीमारी, तो शुरू में तो बिल्कुल नहीं कर रहे थे, लेकिन धीरे धीरे इस पे रिसर्च हुई और खासकर यूएसए एंड यूरोप में, और उन्होंने पाया कि जिनके ऑर्गन्स अगर उनके ऑर्गन्स हेल्दी हैं और उनमें इफेक्ट नहीं आया है, कोविड का इन्फेक्शन नहीं आया है, तो वो ऑर्गन्स को ले सकते हैं। लेकिन कोविड की डेथ, जो नेचुरल डेथ हो रही है, उसमें ऑर्गन्स तो खत्म हो जाते हैं, सिर्फ टिश्यू होते हैं। तो टिश्यू में भी अगर वो कोविड-19 से नेगेटिव हैं, जो बड़ा पॉसिबल इसलिए नहीं था वो पहले, क्योंकि 6-6 घंटे लगते थे टेस्ट में, अब टेस्ट बहुत जल्दी हो रहा है। तो अगर वो देखते हैं कि पेशेंट की जिसकी डेथ हुई है, अगर वो कोविड-19 नेगेटिव हो चुका है और उसका उस पे कॉर्निया पे इम्पैक्ट नहीं है, तो कॉर्निया और स्किन ली जा सकती है। अदरवाइज जो नेचुरल डेथ में जो कोविड-19 से डेथ हुई है, उसके कोई भी ऑर्गन्स नहीं लिए जा सकते हैं। आप लोगों ने व्हाट्सएप पे देखा होगा, बीच में एक इस तरह की र्यूमर चली थी, there was a rumor on WhatsApp group that some doctors are taking out the kidneys of those who are dying from the COVID-19. It is not at all possible, no, and it is totally a myth. You should be understand one thing very clearly. No one would like to take or touch a patient who was suffering from COVID-19, especially I'm talking of the wave 1 and wave 2, not about this Omicron, because it's still too early to say. And that's why that was totally false WhatsApp messages which was going on. No one can take out. Only the organs can be taken out if it is a brain death of a COVID patient, and if the COVID has not affected those organs. Like lungs, earlier you might have heard that the lungs are always affected, not in Omicron, the first and second wave. At that time, they cannot take out the organs, but the lungs were transplanted and saved the lives who were suffering even from the COVID-19. So we must congratulate and thank the doctors or those who are doing this organ transplant, that by taking their risk, they saved so many lives. Thank you, Tushar.
Next question will be asked by Shilpi Yadav.
Good morning, sir. My name is Shilpi Yadav. I am pursuing MBA from HICM. My question is, which organ and tissue can we donate after a death?
Okay, Shilpi, although I have already told you, but initially, but again I will repeat. Death, there are two types of death. In natural death, once a natural death, organs cannot be donated. Only tissues can be donated, like eye cornea, skin, bone, etc. But if it is a brain death, then one can donate organs, which are, as I mentioned earlier, heart, lungs, kidneys, intestines, pancreas, liver. Yes, thank you, Shilpi.
Next, Janvi Mittal.
Good morning, sir. I am Janvi Mittal. I am pursuing MBA from HIMCS. My question is, are organ and tissues transplant experimental?
Thank you, Janvi. No, these are earlier it was, but now we are doing everywhere, all the countries, including India. So, and so many lives have been saved. So there is no word now called experimental. Experimental, as you all are MBA students, you understand, it is when something which comes and initial time we are doing the experiment. But as I told you that somebody has done the transplant to his identical brother in 1954. So at that time we can say, but now we are in 2022. So it's not experimental. It's a routine transplant surgery. Thank you, Jan.
Next by Ankita Raj.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ankita Raj. I'm pursuing MBA in Hindustan College. My question is, does gender matter in organ donation?
Very good question, Ankita. Gender never matters as far as the organ donation is concerned. But
Yes,
unfortunately in India, it matters. I will give you the figures, which is very, I feel sad, to be very frank. And the figure is that in India, only, I will give you the exact figure because I don't want to give any wrong figure. After all, it's a matter of records always. 84% donation, living donation is by women in India. And only the recipients, 19% recipients are women in India. Very unfortunate. While in other countries, it's almost 50-50. Because in India, we have a patriarchy system where the brother will not donate, generally I'm talking, to the brother or the father, rather sister will donate to the brother, or the daughter will donate for father, wife will donate to husband, husband will not donate to wife. Very, very unfortunate, but this is the reality. And I'm sure the youth, you, all of you, if you all will create the awareness, definitely the men will also start donating. Here, in other countries, men and women, there is almost equal. But as far as organ donation is concerned, there is nothing that you cannot use the organs of a lady or a man. They are equally as good as they are. Even a child, as I told you, 74 minutes can donate. So there is no question of gender. Thank you very much, Ankita.
Thank you, sir.
Next question by Deepti Dikshit.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Deepti Dikshit. I am from Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, and I am pursuing MBA. It is my fourth semester, second year. So my question is, which chemical is used to preserve these organs?
Deepti, it's a very technical question because there is a different types of chemicals which they are using for skin, like skin banks are there. In metros in India, it has come, but abroad there are lots of skin banks, and for cornea also, because they can preserve them. But as far as the like heart and kidney and those things, their shelf life is very less. Like heart shelf life is 4 to 6 hours. So they have to put in some chemical, which I cannot tell you right now, but if you want, I will send you on WhatsApp. I will put in the group only about this, what chemicals, because it's at medical terms. But one thing is very clear, the heart, when they have to transplant in 4 to 6 hours, and that's why the shelf life is very less. But for the skin is the maximum life, which they are keeping as a skin bank. They are also doing the process for that, but what type of chemicals they are using, I cannot tell you off the hand right now, but I can post it in the group. Thank you.
Next question by Saloni Jain, MBA student.
Good morning, sir. I am Saloni Jain and I am pursuing MBA from HIMC. My question is, what are the medical conditions excludes a person from donating organ?
Yeah, exclude, correct na? To exclude the, yeah. See, there are certain medical conditions. First thing is if the organs are damaged, like liver. If somebody is alcoholic and if he or she has damaged the liver, it's not possible to take out that liver and transplant it because it's already damaged. Conditions like cancer, if the cancer is already spread, AIDS, COVID, so any infectious, acute infectious disease, not the common flu, etc. But if the infection is there, if the organ is damaged or organ is infected, then only it is excluded. Otherwise, it is not at all excluded. Thank you.
Next question from Akash Banerjee.
Hello, good morning, sir. My name is Akash Banerjee and I am from HIMSCS, and right now I'm pursuing MBA first year and in first semester. So my first question is, like I am very much interested in organ donation. So it's like blood donation camp, like we have to go and register in that, or I have to go in local hospital. And my second question is, like if we say about organ donation to anyone, any random people get threatened or feel scary about that, or in or Hindi we can say jhijak. So sir, how can we remove that jhijak from them?
Okay,
it's my main question, sir.
Okay, so the answer of the first question already I gave, but again I will repeat. You being an MBA student, online there is a site called noto.gov.in. that's a government site. Log in that and you can have the form, you can fill up the form, you will get the card online only. In case there is a difficulty, I am going to post after this program, I will be posting the form. You can download the form, fill up the form, scan it and send to me on the WhatsApp. I will get the things and the card will reach to your residential. This is first. Now, second question, which is very important, is that jhijak, the resistance, how you are going to convince. Charity begins from home. If you or yourself is convinced, Akash, if you are convinced, if you can convince your family, then you can convince anyone else. I can tell you when, why I came in this, just because I have time. I know that I will take all the questions. Don't worry, Dr. Sheetal Sachdev. You are worried, don't worry, I will take. I had a massive heart attack 5.5 years back in London, and I was saved, God's wish, because my 100% LED, which is the main artery to take the blood to the heart, was blocked. And it's written in the medical book that within 2 hours, if I would have not received the medical help, I would have not survived. And after that, I decided to do something to give back to the society. At that time, I was wondering and then found this organ donation thing, that so many people are dying. When I came back to India, I told my wife that I'm going to start. So my wife said, but who is going to listen to you? I said, okay, fine. Are you ready? Yes. We fill up the form and I organized a program at my resort. I called the people and I gave this thing that I have doing this. And within no time, people have started filling the forms afterwards. But it takes time. I have done awareness program in Mathura at Nayati Hospital twice. I have done at Mathura Refinery once. I have done at BSA College, Engineering College once, offline, where I was present there. I gave and many of them have with the Rotary Club, Mathura Central and the Giants Group, as well as I have done at Gyan Mahavidyalaya twice. I have done at program at Aligarh. Agra, I have done at Sri Ramakrishna Girls College in Agra also once. So once, if the COVID is not there, then I would have come personally to your college and I would have. But if you will become brand ambassador yourself, and if you convince your family, if they are ready to fill up the form, then you can convince anyone else. You can say, see, I have filled up my form, my family has filled up, please fill up. These are the advantages. You have to explain the advantages. Persons are quite educated. They will understand the situation and they will fill up the form. Thank you, Akash.
Next question by Ayushi Sinha.
Good morning, sir. My name is Ayushi Sinha, pursuing MBA from Hindustan College. My question is there is age limit for donating organs?
Ayushi, thank you, but I have already told you, 74 minutes, newly born, donated. 95 years, also donated. So there is no age limit at all. Thank you, Ayushi.
Next by Anirudh Goel.
Hello, good morning, sir. Myself, Anirudh. So my question is that what can we do to make this camp more effective?
Yeah. Anirudh, if you are convinced, as I was telling Akash, if you are convinced and if you convince your family, then definitely you can propagate it. But before that, please, you all have Google, study it properly. Study it, because no misinformation should go outside. If we will give any misinformation, then there is a problem. You study it closely. If you have any questions, still further, you can ask me. You have my number now, or in the group, wherever, and I will be replying. Once you are convinced, you can organize camp in your college. Like you have more than 80 or 90 students. Right now you have say 26, 27 students whom I am addressing. Although they might be listening, the others are watching the program. But otherwise also you can organize camp where you can invite, like I can say, like Professor Dr. Naveen Gupta is doing so good social work with the auto rickshaw drivers and others. If you people can go and start talking to them when the program is on about the distributing the food, etc. You can also talk about the organ donation, explain to them why organ donation is very much essential. And I will tell you one figure. Your chances to donate organ is 1, but chances to receive organs are 6. But unfortunately in India, that's why so many people are dying. We require about 1.5 to 2 lakhs kidneys every year, and hardly 8 to 10,000 kidneys are available. You can imagine how many people are dying, or they are spending lots of money on dialysis, and afterwards also they could not sustain, because dialysis also have a limit. After that, the patient has to die, and they're very, very expensive. Similarly, we have about requirement is of 40 to 50,000 livers, and we have only less than 2,000 livers. So awareness is required. If you people will decide, you can be the brand ambassador. And if one person you can convince in your life, you can imagine you have saved 8 lives. This supreme donation you will never get in your life by donating money, food, whatsoever, clothes. But this is a supreme donation which you can do by creating awareness. Thank you, Anirudh.
Sir, एक चीज और तो सर.
Yes, okay. Go ahead.
आज के दिन में सर गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है ग्राउंड लेवल पे इस ऑर्गन डोनेशन के रिगार्डिंग?
Okay, thank you, Anirudh. See, as far as the government is concerned, government has made a committee which is called NOTO. That is, as I told you, National Organ and
government level.
I'm talking to the listen to me, Anirudh. It's a national level. They have started a NOTO called National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization, and under that umbrella there are regional organizations called ROTO, and then there is a state called SOTO. So these are called, under the SOTOs, every district's hospitals or with the head is civil surgeon or CMO, they have a committees, they have organizations, and they are supposed to do convince, they have the coordinators convince the people about this. Now, your question is what government is doing in a ground level. One thing is there, because there are in India, there are lots of reservation because of the religion. Hindu feels, no, we will not donate. Why should we donate? Muslim says we will not donate. Christian, but it is all myth. There is no such. And as Dr. Gupta was mentioning, I can add one thing. You might have all heard the name of Maheshi Dadichi. Maheshi Dadichi donated bones to save the mankind. That was also donation, supreme donation. So government is trying, but we should not think that if government is not doing, we can't do it. You all can do it. There is nothing like that government should only come and say, you please donate. Government is busy with vaccination and other things. We have to take a decision, and we can create the awareness, which, like I am doing this awareness, I am not charging anything from anyone. I am not taking any help from the government except the card which government has to issue. That's it. But your question is very valid. There are so much scope from the government one should do, but it's not doing so. That's why we all have to. Yes, thank you, Anirudh. I will come to you in the next round. Otherwise, there are lots of things to discuss.
Next question is from Ayushi Saxena.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Ayushi Saxena, student of MBA from Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies. My question is, blood group matching required for organ donations?
Yes, it requires, and sometimes it doesn't require. The latest research says that it is not required, but still the conventionally they try to match so that the problem should not be there, because nowadays the medicines are so good, which were not there earlier. The steroids and many medicines which can see to it that the organ which has been put in the other's body should not give any problem, or it should be not be rejected. Because what happens once the organ is transplanted in one's body, the rejection starts. The body, our human body, starts rejecting it. So they give the supplement medicines. So nowadays the medicines are good, but still, if it is not matching, I would like to add one thing. There is a donation called swap donation in India. That is, suppose one kidney, the donor's kidney is not matching to the relative's kidney, the close relative kidney, and she or he wants to donate the kidney. Then the other party is a patient A, and the patient B is also have the same problem, but patient B is matching with the patient A relative the kidney, and patient B is matching with the patient A. So then the patient A relative will donate to patient B, and patient B relative will donate to patient A. So it's like a cross donation or swap donation or barter donation. It is allowed, but with the permission from the government. Thank you, Ayushi.
Next question is from Surbhi Mittal.
Good morning, sir. My name is Surbhi Mittal, and my question is that does it cost anything to donate tissues and organs?
Surbhi, very good question. No, for donor there is no cost. Unfortunately, in India, the recipient has to pay, and that is why. That is also a very black spot on us, all of us. That's why the poor patients are not getting the organs, receiving. Donor can be anyone, because if you are donating the organs after the brain death of any relative, it is totally free of cost. And if you are donating to your own relative in the life, then it is up to you whether you bear the cost or your relative bear the cost, but the cost has to be borne. But as far as the brain, after the brain death, no cost for the donor as far as in India is concerned. And for the recipient, yes, the donor cost is required, and they have to pay each and everything, including the donors, all these expenses of donors, as well as the expenses of the recipient transplant surgery, plus the transfer the organ from one place to another place. And this is also interesting, which I would like to inform you, that in India there is a you might have heard green corridors. What is green corridor? Green corridor is like, suppose someone is declared brain dead at Mathura, but this brain the organ cannot transplant in Mathura. Earlier there was a hospital called Nayati Hospital at Mathura, but it is now closed. So there is no hospital which is doing any organ transplant, and as far my information, even Agra doesn't have any organ transplant. So what they do, they inform either the Faridabad or Delhi or nearby. There the doctor teams comes, they take out the organs, and they transfer from there to Delhi by road. At that time, if they are going by the your express highway, one side of the express highway from where the ambulance will go will be totally closed for the public vehicles. And if you are reaching in 1.5 hours from Mathura to Delhi, within 45 minutes you will reach, because there is no traffic at all. It will be up from the hospital to the another hospital, and the police and everyone is involved. They want to save their lives. Even sometimes it happens that the organ has to go to Chandigarh as per the waiting list. So they will see at what time the flight is there. Immediately at the airport also, top priority will be given to the organs, and they will go immediately to the plane. And once the plane land, again the green corridor will be made in that city, and it will go. So transplant, as far as the organ donor is concerned, no cost. All the expenses of these transfers, all airport transfers by air or green corridor, to be borne by the recipient. Thank you, Surbhi.
Next is from Himanshu Garg, MBA first year student.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Himanshu Garg. I am pursuing MBA from HIMCS. My question is, if the hospital knows that I have pledged for my organs, it will be adversely affect my treatment?
Good question, Himanshu. No. First thing one should understand, doctors are doctors. They are not butchers, first. Secondly, it is not in their hand. Even if the doctor knows that I have donated my organs, and if I am brain dead, they have no right, they have no power to declare me brain dead, because as I explained earlier, there is a committee appointed by the government of eminent doctors, which are going to come and see, examine it. So the doctor who is treating me, suppose, is nowhere in the picture. There is a committee which is coming from outside. That committee will examine. Then the committee will go back, and after 6 hours, minimum gap of 6 hours, again they will come, and then again will examine. And even after that, if they find that yes, now it's a brain death, then the organs will go as per the wait list. Doctor cannot take out and put and give to somebody. See, black sheeps are always there, but it's illegal in India. So it's not possible, and one should not encourage, and one should not do it. Otherwise, there is a jail if anybody involves in these types of things. So no doctor is doing, and if anybody is doing, it is like somebody is taking drug. So this is their problem, but otherwise, no. Thank you, Iman.
Thank you.
Next is from Lakshmi Tyagi, MBA first year student.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Lakshmi Tyagi. I'm pursuing MBA from HIMCS, Noida. Sir, my question is, can we donate our organs while we are alive?
Yes, Lakshmi, you can donate your organs if you are alive, only to the very, very close relatives. As I told, grandparents, parents, your parents, siblings, spouse, children, and grandchildren, only to them. Or in a special case, to someone unrelated to you or distant related to you, with a permission from the government, which is very, very difficult to get, but only when there is no money consideration. So one can donate it, no restriction in this, in the living donation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next question is from Himanshu Sharma.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. I am Himanshu Sharma. I am pursuing MBA from HIMCS. Sir, my question is, how can I to convince my parents and my family to donating my organs after my death if they are not agree with my decision?
Okay. Thank you, Himanshu. See, Mr. Himanshu, in few of the studies, they say there is used to be a Jiddi class. For MBA, they for marketing, people teach that from 3 to 11 years of age of a child is called Jiddi class, where the boy or the girl asks something and the parent has to give. But as now you all are not in the Jiddi class, if you will convince them, if you are convinced, as I told you, if you are convinced, you have to convince, you have to tell, see, look, if God forbids, tomorrow, if anything happens to me, if I declare a brain death or even a natural death only tissues, but if brain death, then please donate. The advantage is, which I can very well see, that if tomorrow, suppose I am brain death and my organs have been donated, my heart is there in somebody else's body. So my family should see that person and can imagine. You might have seen some video films on the WhatsApp. One mother is listening the heartbeat of the child by putting the stetho and feeling that, because that heart was her child only. So you have to convince them that you can save 8 lives and you will be alive in those 8 persons. So that is how one can convince them. Thank you, Himanshu.
Next is from Mansi Soni.
My name is Mansi Soni.
Next question is from Mansi Soni.
Yes, please, go ahead.
My name is Mansi Soni. I am pursuing MBA from HIMCS. My question is...
Mansi, please come in the center, otherwise your face will not be shown on the... Yes, please go ahead.
My name is Mansi Soni. I am pursuing MBA from HIMCS. My question is, donated organ can be donated again?
Yeah, difficult question, Mansi. I have to check whether it is possible or not. But as far as my information is concerned, not. But still, I will not give the exact reply. I will send to you whether the donated organs, once you have donated one organ, whether it can be redonated or not. I will let you know. Thank you, Mansi.
Next is from Rashi Saraswat.
My name is Rashi and I am pursuing MBA. So my question is, does donation work the way we see it on TV? If not, then how can we change the audience mind after watching movies and all?
You mean to say that by watching TV or something, one can convinced on the donation? You are saying like this?
So my question is, there are TV shows and medias जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा negative story portray कर दी जाती है organ donation की. So how can we change the mind?
Okay, Rashi, you have seen recently that about the COVID vaccine. So many negative stories have been planted and so many has come on WhatsApp group or WhatsApp university, I used to say. But it doesn't mean that vaccine is not advisable. Similarly, people who are planting such type of stories, but being an educated person yourself, you have to see what is correct or not. You can very well do your own research. You can see what has happened around the world, why not in India, all over the world, and then you can see. As far as you are, if you are mentioning about that organ trade thing, as I explained to you, it is not possible. Some 1 or 2 films were made where they have shown that how the doctors are taking the organs and selling it. It have happened in UP. I will not deny that it is not happening in UP only. About 2 years, 3 years back, and all they were arrested. They are put a very stringent punishment, and they have to put them behind the bar. So black sheeps are everywhere, but it doesn't mean that we should go and only see the negativity. We have to see the positive aspect of this. Thank you, Rashi.
Next is from Bhavna Parush, MBA final year student.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Bhavna Porus. My question is that, can I be an organ donor if I have reject to donate blood?
If you cannot donate your blood, you are saying like this.
Yes,
see, as I told earlier also, that if you have a acute disease, which is infectious disease, and where the organs have been affected, then only, like I will tell you, like if you have anybody is having diabetes, it's not a restriction that you cannot donate the organs. Only thing is the organ should be healthy. If organ is healthy, then there is no problem. But if organ is not healthy, whether your blood is polluted or blood is rejected or not, it makes hardly difference. They will just check, the doctors will check whether your organs are healthy or not. Thank you, Bhavna.
Next is from Priyanka Yadav.
Good morning, sir. I am Priyanka Yadav. I am pursuing MBA from Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies. My question is, does organ and tissue donation after death causes any disfigurement to the donor?
Good question. No disfigurement. If you see when the organs are taken out, the doctors always respect and they take out with a minimum surgery. And one thing you all have to understand, the organs are donated after the death, that is brain death. In any case, the brain death is because mainly due to the road accidents. If road accident, in any case, even if it's a death after the accident, the postmortem has to take place. So the body has to be done, they have to do the postmortem. In similar way, they are doing as far as the brain death is concerned. But if it is a natural death, then also you will not come to know about because there is no organ donation, only tissues, which also now the technique is such that they take out, they put something, that is fine. But one has to understand the happiness of a organ donor. I will tell you, if suppose everybody says that the death is a very painful thing, but I perceive myself, I say myself, death is a very happy moment. How? You will also say how? Suppose tomorrow I am declared brain death, and message goes to one of my friend at Mathura, and they says, so and see, listen, good news for you, Mr. Goel is dead. Definitely my friend is going to say, why, what you are talking? It's a very sad news. Well, no, it's a good news, because your son, who is suffering from the heart disease and waiting for the heart transplant and is almost on dying bed, his heart is on the way, and your son is going to be saved. Now just imagine the happiness of that family, where the heart is going to save the life of that child. Whether the death is painful for them, they will forget the pain, they will feel the happiness and joy. So that's why I'm saying it is not, and nobody is see, even if some spots are there, nobody would like to mind it, because the joy is far more than that disfigurement. But it is not at all. They will do it very, very cautiously. Thank you, Priyanka.
Next is from Divanshu Bhattacharya.
How many left, Dr. Sachdev? So I will have the same speed, otherwise I can
Only
explain
3
more.
students are left.
Okay, so I have time.
Divanshu.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Yes.
Good morning, sir. My name is Devanshu. I am pursuing MBA from HMCS College. My question is that one blood donor is O positive and he is having blood pressure. He can give the donor or no?
Yeah. Whether you are suffering from blood pressure or diabetes or any disease, as I told, only those diseases which are very infections like AIDS, like cancer, and which has spread. If it has not reached to the organ, if it has not affected the organ, then also they take the organ and they transplant. And now many times what they do, that even if somebody is having AIDS and if there is a brain death, then they transplant that organ, even if it is affected by AIDS, to the other patient who is also suffering from AIDS, but he or she requires the organ. So that is also, researches are going on, and every day new research comes, and the doctors are working day and night to save the things. You might have heard recently that the genetically modified heart of a pig was transplanted in a man, because that man is totally unfit for any transplant, and they have got it. He was waiting, but heart was not available, so they got one pig genetically modified, and they did. Whether it will be successful or not, time will say, because it's hardly about a few days or has taken place in USA. Once it will be, then it will be a very big breakthrough, because then so many people in India or the world over can be saved. Thank you, Devanshu.
Question is from Nitisha Jain.
Good morning, sir. My name is Nitisha Jain and I'm pursuing MBA from HMCS. My question to you is, what ethical and practical challenges are involved with the issue of organ donation?
Okay, Nitisha, there is no ethical challenge as such. Only ethical is that we have to change our mindset. If you, being a Jain, as per your surname, if your mindset is changed, if you can convince your family, because every religion, and why I'm saying is because I have done programs where our Murbidri Jain Swamiji, who is a head of about 18 Jain temples, he was always the chief guest, and he always say and convince the people to donate organs. So and I have done even the on organ donation with Shudh Sagarji Maharaj in Delhi also. I had my media conference with him also, and he also convinced. So there is no ethical challenge, because it's not unethical. It is ethical, far ethical than anything else, because you are donating something which is going to save 8 lives. Which, can you name any other donation which can save lives? Yes, there is a donation, like we are donating money to this religious places. We donate to schools, we donate to Anathalaya or the orphanage, but saving life is supreme. So there is no ethical. Practical challenges, yes, in India, because we have to convince, we have to mention, and especially if you want to fill up the form, first you talk to your family, convince them, because if your family is not convinced, filling up the form is of no use. So if you are convinced, you can convince your family, and then there is no practical challenge. Thank you, Nitisha.
Next is from Pankaj Kumar. Yes, Pankaj.
Good morning, sir. So my question is, how much time will we consume for organ donation at the time of donor?
No, I'm not getting you clear. If you want, you can talk to in Hindi. क्या पूछना चाहते हैं आप?
My question is, sir, at the time of organ donation, how much time will we consume?
You are talking about the surgery, or you are filling the form?
Yes, sir. For surgery.
Surgery. See, surgery depends on the time, what type of hospital infrastructure is there or not. Sometimes it takes 1 hour, sometimes it takes 2 hours, sometimes it's 4 hours. It all depends on the doctors and the condition of the patient, because they have to take out the organs very, very sophisticatedly, and they have to transplant to the others. So it is very, very complicated. But expert surgery, and in India, we have very, very expert transplant surgeons who are performing the surgeries day and night. So there is no problem. It may take 4 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours. Hardly it makes any difference. Only thing is their purpose is to take out the organ very, very properly. Like for lung surgery, it takes a lot of time. But for kidney surgery, it's not that much time. So it all depends which type of organs they are donating, and if all organs, then definitely the time will be there. Thank you, Pankaj.
Last question is from Soumya Gupta. Is she there? Soumya Gupta, final year student, MBA final year. Anjali Maurya, I think they are not there.
Okay.
So we have completed with the first round of the questions.
Okay.
If anybody wants...
Yes, that's why I'm saying, if anybody wants to go further and ask any clarification which you are not satisfied with my earlier reply, please ask.
Yes, students, you can ask if anybody want to ask.
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yes.
Sir, what we have to do to make the organ free for recipients, because in between it will be only beneficial for the doctor and the organ donation bank.
You mean to say that the recipient should be free, they should not pay any money, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, this, as I told you, this is a very sophisticated expert, and it requires a lot of very sensitive and high-tech equipments in this surgery. So that's why it's expensive. Now, you are saying it's benefiting doctors or the bank. First thing is, as far as the organs are concerned, there are no banks, because it has to be transplant immediately. You cannot hold heart or lungs or kidney. I'm talking of organs. Yes, if you are talking of tissue like eye bank or skin bank, it is required, but the donor has to pay nothing. Recipient has to pay because of our government policies. Although now few of the insurance companies have started the organ transplant, covering organ transplant also in the insurance scheme. But right now the premium is very high. That's why government of India recently, what they did, they have taken, and I think you must give credit to media conference with Lal Goel. We have pursued it in one of the conference, and where the chief guest of my program was one man expert commission on labor, Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS. He's coming tomorrow's program again. So in that program, I asked that why not those who are BPL, below poverty line, should be treated under the Ayushman Bharat scheme. As you know, there is a Ayushman Bharat scheme for BPL. Earlier, the limit was 5 lakhs, but for organ transplant, they have increased the limit to 15 lakhs. So those who are poor, they are now getting organ transplant like kidneys, and even some cases about more other things, although the liver and heart is costing bit more, but at least 15 lakhs the government is covering. I am sure that once that sometime after some time this will increase more limit. We are trying even in this budget for which is going to come tomorrow. We have already sent some suggestions. Let's hope. We can only try. The government has to decide. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goel, for beautifully answering to all the questions of the young, dynamic management students of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies.
Dr. Sachdeva, because still there is a 10 minutes time and we cannot close our program with before that. So if anyone has any question, otherwise I will start giving more details to you about organ donation, which you have not asked, but I am going to volunteer myself. First thing I will... Yeah, please go ahead.
So what organ can we donate while we are still alive?
Yeah, Liju, Miss Liju, I have told twice, but again I am repeating it. If you are alive, you can donate one kidney. Everyone is having two kidneys, one kidney. And I will tell you, God has given us the power that even with one kidney, it is as good as with two kidneys. Okay. If somebody is having bad vices, consuming drugs or smoking, etc., then we can't help. But if your lifestyle is a normal lifestyle, then there is no problem. You can donate one kidney, you can donate part of pancreas and part of liver, which you can, because pancreas and liver, there is a quality that they grow themselves. So if the liver is donated, part of the liver is donated, after some time the liver will reshape and become the same as old. So there is no restriction in that. Thank you, Liju. Yes, anyone else?
Yes, sir. Sir, question is, sir, कुछ समय पहले आपने बताया था, मतलब रिलेटिव में आप ऑर्गन डोनेशन कर सकते हैं, लेकिन सर तो उसमें रिलेटिव सर्टिफिकेट की जरूरत पड़ती है क्या?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल सर्टिफिकेट पड़ती है। कल तो आप किसी को भी अपना रिलेटिव बना सकते हैं, इसलिए वो सर्टिफिकेट नहीं, वो हर चीज चेक करते हैं, आपका पूरा बैकग्राउंड चेक करते हैं। वो उनकी कमेटी आपको भी उसको भी चेक करेगी कि आप क्या वो रिलेटिव हैं या नहीं है। नहीं तो फिर तो मैं भी किसी को अपना रिलेटिव बना के और अपना ऑर्गन बेच सकता हूँ, वो नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे इंडिया में वैसे ही बहुत ऑर्गन्स की कमी है। तो इसको रोकने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत ही ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट लॉज बनाए हुए हैं, और इसको इस वजह से रिलेटिव का चेकिंग बहुत जरूरी है। यस।
So my question is, organ donations are limited. How do you think we should decide who is eligible to receive an organ?
Yes, very good question, Saloni. See, as I told earlier also, there is a wait list maintained by the district. First is the hospital who is having the transplant facilities. Unfortunately, Mathura, there is no hospital. I think Agra doesn't have. Earlier, it was not. When I went there about 2 years back, I don't think then COVID they have started. So otherwise, district level, otherwise state level, like Lucknow, they have a SOTO, they have a list, ROTO, regional list, and the NOTO, that is the national list. So they take the, if suppose somebody declared brain dead at Mathura, and they have to see where priority wise, which is more priority, plus they also see that this person, those who are waiting list, how much more time they can survive without the organ. So suppose I am listed first, but I can survive, say, 1 month more. But if Mr. X who is also listed after me, but his survival is for 10 days. So he will get the priority than me. So this is all computerized, everything governed by the government. So there is no hanky-panky in this. Yes, please.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Sir, if I register in organ donation, will it affect living donation in our life insurance or employability?
Not at all. Rather, I will tell you, recently, Rajasthan government, I know, and other governments are also doing, once you are applying for your license, they are asking you whether you want to be organ donor or not. And if you say yes, then it will be mentioned on your license that she or he is an organ donor. So it is a plus point and many corporates are also now encouraging organ donation. So it's not a negative point, rather it's a positive point. And as far as your question is about the living organ donor, no, not at all. Whether you are doing afterwards or at living, no problem in that. So it is there. And one more thing I will tell you, in India, approximately 1.65 lakhs road accident death are taking place, out of which about 1 lakh are brain death. Now just imagine if 1 lakh people, those who are dying on road accident, donate their organs, 8 lakhs people can be saved. 8 life one person can save. No death will be there, but it requires awareness. If we will create this awareness, or government change the law, which is not easy for government to change so many rest problems, voting problems, this will become a voting issue. That's why government is in back foot, but other countries have done it nicely, and that's why they are reducing the wait list. You can imagine few thousand and few lakhs, so much difference. Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah, please ask.
so the question is, do transplanted organ carries memories?
No memories. There is no, this is myth. How come? Tell me how your kidney will carry your memory, how my heart will carry memory. No memory. And no such incident has been reported till now. Brain, they have not yet transplanted, so I cannot say about the brain, but no other organ have that memory. Yes, please. Next.
So,
Yes.
only the wealthy can afford an organ transplant.
Sorry?
Only the wealthy can afford an organ
Yes,
transplant.
very good question. See, in India, only wealthy can be recipient of those which are like lungs transplant, heart, sometimes even liver, because, or pancreas, because it's expensive, quite expensive, 15 to lakhs to 1 crore rupees. It's not possible for a normal person to afford. But as I told, there is insurance companies are giving these policies nowadays, but very few, and its premium is very high, number one. So government, we are also trying, we are always in our programs, we always suggest the government to see to it that one should subsidize, or the government should give the payment to those who are recipients. I will tell you one more thing. In India, 95% of the recipients are rich, while in UK, 95% the recipients are normal. The donors in India, 95% are poor, while in UK, 95% are rich, because they feel, I ask this question because I whenever I go UK or USA, I discuss with their experts. They says, why you are donating to money to church, because you are, or temple or mosque or gurdwara, because you want mental peace for yourself, your family, health, wealth you want. But here in UK, we feel that if we are donating organs, if we pledge to donate organs, the happiness which we or our family will get is far more than donating money. That's why the rich class, the affluent class, the educated class are coming forward to donate more organs there. And in India also, as Professor Dr. Gupta has given example of one small 2.5 years boy of Gujarat. Their family was well-to-do, but they donated because this happiness which they are getting, if we are talking about that boy here, how much blessings are going to that family of that boy without their knowledge. So that's why this organ donation is for everyone, and we must donate, pledge to donate our organs. Thank you. I think now no more questions I have to take because the time is, it's a live telecast. But there are so many more things which can be asked if you want. But today's program is very enlightening. You have asked questions, and by this way you have quite got fair idea. But still, I am open anytime. If you have any query, you can send on WhatsApp, or if required, I have no problem to address you. And whenever I will visit Mathura, I already promised to Professor Dr. Gupta that I will be coming and visiting your institute, and I will be talking in person to you all. I would also like to inform you that you might have heard the name of Kannada actor Puneet Rajkumar, who died recently, very young age. He donated his eyes, and his eyes, now the recent research has come out that instead of, because generally the two eyes will say give the light to two blind persons, but his eyes, the doctors, they sliced the cornea, and the 4 persons got the life. And it is such a remarkable thing from actor. So what we are also saying, that all those our political leaders or the celebrities, whether cricketer or the film actors, if they will come forward and they start donating, and if it comes in the limelight, definitely the others will follow. But you yourself as a celebrity, if you are convinced, if you feel that whatsoever I have spoken today makes some sense, if not, go and do that Google search, and if you feel that yes, what is correct, then please fill up the form, convince your family, and once you convince your family, then you can be a very, very good marketing manager. And if you cannot convince yourself or your family, then how this your MBA degree is going to help you in marketing the products outside. So this is a big challenge, and I'm happy and thankful to both Professor Dr. Naveen Gupta as well as Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva for organizing such a program. Thank you all the youth guests, and you have given me also to think, and 1 or 2 questions or whatsoever questions which I could not reply, I am going to reply. I will request Dr. Sachdeva to send me on the WhatsApp group those 2 questions or 3 questions. I will be definitely replying. And thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by, Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva, please.
I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Professor Naveen Gupta and Mr. Lal Goel for sharing their valuable thoughts on organ donation. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all the young dynamic management students of Hindustan Institute of Management and Computer Studies, Mathura. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Karu News, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you everyday new topic. And tomorrow in media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. the topic is India, the global education hub. Yes, you heard correctly. India, the global education hub. And my panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, one-man expert commission on labor, Government of India, Mr. James Macham, CEO, Vedic Group, India's largest IAS academy, Cochin, and Professor Dr. Lakshmi Goel, Associate Dean, University of North Florida, Jacksonville, USA. So please tune in tomorrow from media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, all the youth guests, and thank you very much, Dr. Sheetal Sachdeva, and thank you very much, Professor Dr. Naveen Gupta, for giving me the opportunity to address your very, very esteemed organization. And I'm so happy that your students are joining our media conference whenever there is a youth conclave. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers. And I hope today's program is very, very enlightening. In case if any of you viewers or anyone, please put the comment and ask any questions 24/7. I am available at least for